Lancelot? It's coming! Watch out! I'll move to intercept. Therefore, the first among the advance party, Lancelot and Arp, took action. I had expected the numbers, but I never imagined they would come at me like this. The next to come to their senses and get moving were the locals who joined the advance team. Shuichi, who should have been considering a prediction following the recent incident at the old laboratory in Shibuya Ward, also groans. It's the same as what happened in the old laboratory. By the forces of the otherworld utopia, a transient summoning that summoned oneself in a chain reaction. A utopian world agent and new laboratory with a portal on top of Tokyo Babel Tower. If the enemy in the loop can summon forces from another timeline and send them to Earth as many times as they want, as long as they wait for that on the ground, the Great Guild Alliance has no chance of winning. This is because in open terrain, it will become a battle between the few and the many. In a straightforward manner, the few cannot defeat the many. This is an ironclad rule of the battlefield that has continued from Sun Tzu's Art of War to the present day. So, the Great Guild Alliance hurried to send out a small advance party of elite soldiers. From this Tokyo Babel Tower, the passage to the ground is narrow and limited. And it was known that the enemy would come to the ground through this tower. Moreover, it has now been confirmed the enemy's main force is in the air, and they can target the ground. In this situation, there is no safety on Earth. Naturally then, the most advantageous thing to do would be to seize the opportunity and attack first. This is the best opportunity for the Grand Guild Alliance and the 3 true great guilds to meet them here. The first problem, of course, is that they should have known that for a long time. But of course, the utopian world agent and the laboratory must have known that. But they needed to get me into custody first, right? Ah, as expected, you have good intuition. Well, I guess I'll answer that question now. Apparently, they needed to stop the app developers from betraying them first. However, the crucial record of the person's actions was treated as official and confidential. There was no recorded data to use as a basis for predicting future behavior. But if the app developer disappears, the game cannot continue. It seems that this was not their intention either, so... So I decided to summon this me and have him deal with this matter. The only person who can enjoy the same privileges. The person who can lift his official and classified designation. But if I did that, you would immediately realize what was happening. Unlike those kids, I can't jump through time, so I can't summon my future self. So I've decided to corner you, using human wave tactics and mobility. Well, the choice of characters was good, because they were able to trace what I would be thinking. But because of that, it took a long time. As a result, we have now allowed them to follow suit. So that's how it is. After hearing what you just said, I'm convinced. Other me. You are me from the past, right? To be precise, it is an entity that gave my past self memories of the future. That world pillar can bestow memories. That utopian world representative is probably... or cloning technology? Either way, you're my... I was really surprised. Even if you know the future, there are still things that surprise you. How do you know with all this information? Maybe you were just guessing. Well, look, I was surprised, so I guess your guess was a hit, right? He has a connection with transient summoning. It's a way for locals to summon otherworldly beings. Oh. Transient summoning is a method used by the locals to summon beings from another world with which they have a connection. There had been no confirmed cases of a non-local transient being summoned in Tokyo. Hold on. After receiving information from Lancelot and others, the members of the Great Guild Alliance had the following hypothesis. Considering this, it seems likely that the girl named Curran was also summoning her future self as a local. In theory, certainly, the staff officers also considered that it should be possible. This is because there is a definite continuity between your future self and your present self, meaning that there is a connection between them. But once you understand that, another question arises. The question is it possible for someone, other than the person in question, to summon their future self? I was procured in a similar way to the local people at the laboratory I had previously contracted with. Summoning the future me was probably impossible because there probably won't be any kind of connection between the future me and the people at the laboratory. It would be one thing if it was you in this loop who was calling out to me. Utopia's world agents may be different, but they are not locals over there. For similar reasons, it's probably difficult to chain summon future transients. Utopia's world representative has been keeping a watchful eye on other players up until this loop. The new life that supposedly originated in Utopia is confined to a specific closed area and does not interact with the local people. In that case, there is no way that a connection can be made, at least until this loop ends. So we thought, if I can win, this will be the last loop. This is because even if there is a next loop, the Utopian forces will have absolute dominance. Since the opponent can increase their military strength as much as they want, there is no point in continuing the game. I never thought it would turn out like this.